that happens, then
That's where the change comes.
that's where the change is. But right now, we're guaranteed the 250,000, a little over 250 for us.
I don't, in the government, the state won't cut it.
Supposedly not. Yep, the way it is, it's just how, the little wording of how the payment will come through. Basically, and there was, not to confuse everybody, but there was a bridge thing put in there too, and that's a little bit of a holdup. So how they're gonna put that out there, so.
Well, I think Donnie's got the right idea, you know, rent it initially, I mean, right now, you know, we do need it, we need to use it until we get more facts, and I'd love to see the usage. You know, don't plan a lot of other stuff around it if you can help it, you know, it's,
Yeah.
pipes will be another issue where you might not be able to change a lot of pipes, but other than that, you can, embankments and stuff, I think, with, even in rainy weather.
No, that's a lot of the stuff that we've got lined up, some different roads that we need to get taken back a little farther and get
Right.
those worked on. I mean,
That's, you know.
my suggestion would be bring it in here 1st of May. By then I can get more figures of what they would drop this, what they would do, you know. At least I could call them and say, okay, we want, decide which one we want. And, the one's already dropped down to 128,000.
The
The other one's
constant.
120, yes, at 122,000, so either one of them would still, gonna pay. They're basically, for talking purposes, at the same price right now.
I mean, for right now, I'd say rent it. I've never seen a place not say, okay, we've rented it, and, yeah, you wanna buy it, we can work that out, you know,
Sure.
so, you know, that way we get a little more time to figure out what exactly they're,
So
you
is
know,
there
and
motion?
that way we get a chips, whether chips is gonna come through or not, so.
So do we have a motion to the effect of renting the excavator for the month of May? You know,
I make the-
initially,
right.
and we will decide after next month how it goes
Whether
from
we
there.
rent again or what we choose to do. I make the motion that we rent it for the month of May.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Other than that, did you have a conversation with Constitution about money?
No?
They called yesterday, what's her name? Not sure.
No, the lady that was with Helen? Lisa.
Yeah, she called, wanted our federal ID number so they could
Oh,
send a check. I know the county got their stuff already,
okay, okay.
so she called here or she didn't call, she texted me and I sent that back to her, so hopefully we'll start seeing
Right.
some of
So
that.
that'll replace the Delta money and the lawyer money, and we'll, at that time,
We'll break even.
we'll set up a fund to, how many miles did it end up being, Mark? You remember now, was it?
It was 7.9. Oh, with that, they're 7.9, I believe.
It's really somewhere in the 55,000, okay. Thank you. Yeah, a couple weeks ago it was on hold, and all of a sudden it
Yeah.
took off again.
Yeah, that, do a wrench in the works there but then all of a sudden they come off from it
Yeah, yeah,
and decided they wanted their paperwork, so.
yeah. Good, thank you. Is there anything else then?
No, about the only thing that I've heard, just so you guys know, is, there's been some complaints about us using calcium chloride, so I did, and it's only coming from one family, I believe, so far, but if anybody wants to know, I've got all the MSDS sheets, all the backup for that, you know, that basically it's not a problem, okay? Even if you're handling it every day, you know, it's pretty, as long as you ain't drinking it, you know, you're pretty much okay. So if anybody asks, we've got copies of the MSDS. You talk about some pretty lame reading, and if you wanna fall asleep in a hurry, there's 12 pages here. Pretty much put you down in a hurry, 9 pages, excuse me, so. You can put that on.
I will
Yep.
keep that the clerk's office.
Okay, well, Dwight, have you got anything from
We're
the
having,
foundation?
no, we're having a meeting, last Wednesday in May,
Oh, not-
in April, I'm sorry, in
okay,
April.
Yeah,
And, other than that, no news.
My question would be, is there somebody doing maintenance up there now for the fields and grounds and?
I don't know if there's or not, they open the fields up for
I
usage.
have no idea.
We got a request the other day, you took the message, right?
Yeah, somebody called and wanted to know who to contact about a garbage can. It was either on a playground or down by the field that was chained to the fence.
I can
It had
check
been
with-
emptied quite some time, so they just wanted to let somebody know and see if they can get that emptied out.
For
Been,
the weather
been
gets
full
too warm.
since last year,
Yeah.
since last fall, I believe.
Should I give this to Dwight then for the?
Yeah.
That's for.
I'll check with Ken.
See what to say.
That's a question from the insurance company, Dwight.
Okay.
Yeah, risk assessment.
Pass it on to Ken, he's,
Yeah,
right. Okay. So you haven't got any figures on how well the investments are doing or anything like that, Dwight?
no, I don't.
Okay. Oh, you do?
It's in
Oh.
the report.
The checking account's got $42,592 in it. Portfolio value is $900,000 and $900,063. And dividends in March were $26.65 is what I earned. So it's growing. That's good. Thank you. Oh. Put it on Dwight's table, come on.
I'd like to see that.
Right, right. Okay, there's been about a lot of talk at the county level and even locally about solar farms and their taxation, assessment, non-assessment, whatever. And the county, head of the tax department of the county, Mike Sabansky, has put on a couple programs. I've been to, I guess, both of them. And about how to deal with it in the at the town level. And he is recommending a resolution to opt out of the automatic tax exemption for commercial solar systems. Because if you don't opt out of it, if you leave it status quo, they can be tax-free for 15 years. But they're commercial. So I'm not sure why a commercial business should be tax-free. And he is recommending an agreement to accept payments in lieu of taxes, which is a nasty word, pilot. And, but you can bargain for maybe not 100% assessment, but maybe 50% assessment and all, and the taxes that are fully due. That gives you the option to control, at least, maybe give them all tax-free, you know, not tax them at all. But if you don't do this, you will, if you don't opt out of the program, they will be tax exempt for 15 years. And I feel myself, commercial properties should not be tax exempt, I mean, just exempt, period. That's not good for residents, residential properties and stuff that you don't get tax exempt very often. And so I would, whether you wanna do some studying on this. Mike did write up a resolution for it, and the board hasn't seen it. We've got time, we can make copies of it so everybody can look it over, see what you think, but that's what's being, proposed through the county, is that, you opt out of it, so then you do control what the assessed values are, basically. And what you can, put a pilot program where maybe give them a break to start out, but, you come to an agreement with the company. Yes,
Is that just commercial, so residential?
yes,
stays-
this says commercial right on it, it does, and that was a concern, you didn't want residential, you wanted to affect the 20 and 30 acre solar farms are proposing. And that's the ones that,
Are you sure he can split them? Because I'm just asking, because
Yep.
my understanding is you can't break out residential. If you have to rescind it, you should rescind it all. Just, it's a question to ask.
well, okay, I'll have to, next week I'll go up to Delhi. But it does say in the resolution, commercial solar installations, not residential solar installations, so. Does that, I mean, is that, I don't know if that's clarification enough, I don't know
The
that.
state has a 15%, it's been in place since 1977, a 15%, a 15-year for any solar, the
Right.
way the state does.
Right,
So, the only question I have is, can the county separate it?
the residential and
You know,
commercial.
can they separate it, or do they lose it for everybody? That's one question.
Well, that's, well, yeah, I know I see where you're coming from, cause it's not meant to penalize residential,
Exactly.
right? And that's why, that's why I think they had commercial written right in it, not residential or commercial. But you're right, I'll have to ask Mike that, if that's clarification enough, or, how that goes.
So, they're proposing this now and looking into it, and will there be a public hearing on it for Franklin, or how does that work?
Well, it's just a resolution we have to pass. I mean, I can ask Mike if he wants to come to the town, to Franklin, to present a program. And it's about an hour program. He had one extension back, first part of March, end of February. I went there, and then he just did a proposal at the county board meeting, basically the same thing.
The only thing that, I'll just bring it up for now. I was gonna talk about this, and now I don't have to. The issue is, New York State last year adopted a, REV program. It's, realizing something, energy vision. It's reviewing their energy vision, and in that energy vision, I brought a copy for all you, because I can talk over here. They're looking at a 40% reduction in greenhouse gases, a 50% generation of New York State's electricity must come from renewable energy sources. So if that's the case, and for pumping gas over to Hungry Hill, they gave them a 50% pilot, reduce the taxes 50%,
Right.
to encourage the use of gas. Personally, I feel they ought to keep it so that commercial, I mean, a 20-acre wind farm is relatively small. To
Right.
meet 50% generation for New York State, you're gonna need a lot of them. How many is Franklin gonna get? I don't know. I've heard about one being addressed for Delhi, out Elk Creek. I haven't heard about one for Franklin, maybe there is.
There's a couple proposed over in Roxbury, I believe,
Yeah,
too.
and so, my point is, I would look at it long and hard and make sure that we're not stepping on the state's toes if they're trying to encourage renewables.
Right. Now,
And-
how
and they
long
have
a time frame are they talking, Don?
2030, by 2030.
By 2030.
Yep. And, for instance, if New York State provides a 25% tax credit for residential,
Mhm.
and the federal government provides a 30% tax credit for residential to encourage them, why wouldn't we be getting in the way of the state's goals if we say, well, we're gonna discourage all commercial solar? So that's just my point. I want you for consideration.
Okay.
I'm done.
Well, okay, I mean, I don't know if you're discouraging it, or, having them pay some of the share of taxes, because they're taking land, 20 acres, 20, 30 acres of farmland, if you're exempting it, you're all of a sudden losing all assessed value, and it may not be farmland, it may be whatever, yes.
The tax exemption only covers the new equipment, it doesn't change the assessment. If you got a $200,000 house and you put 50,000 of solar on the roof, it's only the 50,000 of solar that's exempt, the house taxes stay the
Right,
same. So
right.
if you put a solar farm on 100 acres, the taxes on the 100 acres stay the same.
Minus the 20 acres. Cause if
No,
you're taking,
no, the taxes on the land stay the same.
I don't.
It's
The
just-
land is unusable.
Changing the
It's
use.
got a
You're
solar
changing the use
farm
of
on
it, yeah.
You can't farm it.
That should be
30 acres of
changed.
solar panels in our 40-acre field, that 30 acres is gonna be taxed commercial.
It could be, it could be. Or would it be exempt from any taxes? Yeah, I mean, that, you know, I understand on the residential, it makes sense, cause you're normally putting it on the building. You're not taking land away. But when you're changing 20 to 30 acres of cropland or any kind of land, you know, that could be, if you're exempting it, you're taking that land, my thinking is acreage is taken out, maybe not.
So 117
No.
acres up on Otego Road will now all be taxed at, it'll be taxed at commercial or industrial, must be when it happens.
Only the acreage that they are
117
using,
acres.
only the
But mine will hold
acreage.
117.
Oh, you mean, you're talking about compressors
Yeah,
on
yeah, that's,
Tennessee?
they bought they got an offer on 117 acres.
Right.
So that at least would probably become
Well, the
taxed
sol,
at con-
on a solar farm, you're just changing the tax on the used acreage, not
Well,
on
on
all
that
the
farm,
acreage.
their farm is bigger than that, so you're still only changing on part of their farm.
On 23 acres of it, I would think, not on the whole farm. That's what they're doing with the solar panel. They're changing the classification of those 20, 30 acres, 20 acres. That's what, they're not changing the whole farm, they're just changing the classification of the acreage that is covered by the solar.
So
The
the
fenced
farmer-
off,
So the farmer could use the other acres and probably get the tax exemption on that because it's being taxed, it's being still agriculture.
yes,
Got it.
yes. Yeah, it's a change, I think the change of usage.
That's how the cell tower works up there too.
Is it? Okay.
The cell tower, they changed just where it is.
Just where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't buy 100 acres for that cell tower.
No, but the assessment
didn't
went
buy
way
the
up
land.
on it.
They
The
didn't buy the
assessed
land, they
value
just
went
rented
way
it.
up, yeah.
But,
Okay.
you know,
Well, that's just something I have to sort out.
yep, yeah, that's, yeah, and I'll ask Mike about the commercial part.
I just hate to see anything that gets in the way of meeting, you know, the goals of 2030. And I think to take, and if they do get a tax break, that's pretty much peanuts compared to the, getting a free pass on the EPA, not EPA, the Clean Air Act and the Clean Water Act.
Are we changing the subject here?
No, it's just a free pass. If you're talking about subsidizing one, gas and oil is getting a free pass on EPA, on the air, two laws.
Good, why are they getting discounts if it was? It's all state funded, it's totally state funded. And the other thing is, the numbers of acres that they're talking about is the complete acres of Boone County. They have to be sold across that state. Okay, so I'm sure that the people are not gonna like, I'm sure the beginning, because mine wouldn't like my 50-acre field filled with shiny solar panels. They had a nice view before, now they're looking at solar panels. The process will start all over again, except you'll have people not wanting solar. And when you really look into those companies, they're only in here for the tax money that the state's throwing at them, the incentives. There's no guarantee they'll even use it 15, 20 years from now. And that's not
Well,
been looked at on, folks. It's
I
not
think if they're really interested in renewable energy, they should do more hydropower. The whole New York City reservoir and water system could be run through hydro turbines. And you'd get a lot of power out of that.
East Indian Lake.
Yeah, Goodyear Lake has been running for how long? 100 years?
It's not running anymore. Just
It
sits
was recently.
Still running, because a friend of mine works on it up every week.
where's that? Duval? No.
Goodyear.
Oh, really? Oh,
It's very reliable and it keeps going when the sun goes under a cloud.
that's a whole nother. we'll find out if this is residential, commercial. Thank you, okay. DOT has got a PIN number and everything, for the intersection project, the roundabout, I guess it's going ahead.
Did you send a letter and
And they said, basically,
Yeah. So I'm not sure, is it gonna have a bypass?
I'm not
Bypass
sure.
is kicked out.
That is kicked out, okay,
It
allegedly.
just doesn't show,
That doesn't show anything.
doesn't show anything in the map of it. So there's a notification that it is, you know, coming, going.
but they did take the bypass out?
That's what I've been told.
That's what
That's
they,
what it's
yeah.
called, okay.
I didn't see one of these, but
And where is that located?
At the intersection of 28 and 357. You're welcome. This is good, this is in North Franklin.
No.
Yeah.
Picture.
And we-
You do it like a mile away. I know that's kind of watching the answer around.
Recreation, here it's not here. Planning board, our March meeting. The Aquamar special use permit, site plan, they didn't show up for the meeting. Mike and Heather Ross came in for a special use permit on 28 for a farmer's market. They're setting up a farm stand across from their residence to sell. They've got beef, so they're gonna market their beef and sell local produce and stuff like that. But it's just half a mile inside the town of Franklin, Meredith. You know, it's a nice site, good people, you know. Now,
Yeah, they're gonna do.
yes,
Ice cream.
yeah, ice cream and stuff too, yeah. And he's a carny person, so what the heck? Okay, I guess, is there anything else to come before us? We'll open the meeting up. Yes,
Verizon's gonna increase the capacity on the cell tower here?
that's, we've got to, yes, they are, it's Crown Communications, is that what it is now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
see
that's
what,
not gonna help us in Treadwell.
no,
Are we gonna try to do anything?
well,
in
I've
Treadwell?
spoke to a lady from Crown. First thing we've gotta do is get, the paperwork, which we've never agreed to, Crown taking over JNS Enterprises. JNS got sold to Crown, and we've been receiving a check from Crown, I believe, that's what we have been. So, now we've gotta get the paperwork switched over, so we're leasing it to Crown Communications, and then Verizon is gonna come onto the tower. Here, and yeah, you're right, and I talked to the lady a little bit, she said, well, we gotta do one step at a time. And I said, geez, would there be any chance of manipulating, maybe getting a little break here to spend some money in the Treadwell area for a cell tower? And she didn't really, you know, I don't think she was qualified to, you know, talk
Did
about it
the,
anyway.
did the county, could you talk to the county about the southern end of Franklin, like where you live? Down there, about that tower?
About the tower that's up on
Yeah.
Cool Road?
Are they open to putting something up
I
there?
don't know, I don't think they are, not with emergency services. I can ask Steve, but I don't think the county is open to, you know, letting that out, but I'll find out.
What kind of percentage of Franklin is not covered by cell towers? Like 50%? 80%?
Well, North Franklin covers a lot. And some get it from, 88 towers, some, but, and from here, you're probably at least 50% of the township You have cell service, Dwight?
No, we have
No,
not.
East Hampton Brook, so that isn't,
Arabia does.
I mean, I
Arabia
get great
does.
cell tower service on high points, the low points in my property. I
right,
don't get it.
right.
Not that I care.
I'm not sure,
Everybody
between
else-
North Franklin and Meredith, they must have a good cell service up through there, because Meredith has a tower up on the mountain. So that should fulfill that end right there,
Mine
but
goes
there is
good.
a,
It's
pardon?
good all the way up 28.
all the way up 28.
Yep, right to
Yep.
Delphi.
Well, that's kind of mandatory from the guy I had the discussion with, when I looked at it.
Yep.
It's mandatory on major highways,
Right,
because you have it all the way up and down 357, 28, but the little
right, the
valleys.
side
of all-
roads and stuff, right,
And hilltops of Treadwell don't have anything.
right. And the
And
valleys have
Maryvale
nothing too.
too.
Right, right, yep.
Because I don't know if you can really cover it just with one.
Probably, and I understand that a 3 mile, roughly, on the average, it will cover 3 mile radius on a cell tower. Now,
Yeah,
as
but
a bird
you've gotta-
flies,
but
that's
You've
still,
gotta be able to see the tower.
you gotta be able to see
That's
it.
the 3 miles under ideal conditions.
Okay,
You're not gonna get 3 miles if you've got a,
Well, it
somebody
goes
down
by
in
The
a
frequency
valley.
you apply for.
right,
You have to apply for the frequency, and then it takes a 24, 26-month period
oh,
for okay. And when
Okay.
the man I
Oh, cool.
talked to told me that that's the problem most towns make, they have it put up and then they have to wait for the frequency.
oh,
And
okay,
so you have to, and then,
we put the cart before the horse, and
yeah, if most towns put it before the horse, then they will okay how much the frequency can go. When they
Mhm.
study all the other frequencies involved, all the emergency frequencies and stuff. So, are we gonna try to, see if
still,
we have any leverage?
well, that's what we're gonna try, when we get the contract changed, so we're both on it. We will, see what we can get them to do, I mean, that's,
Well, I have my 2 sites available, and it doesn't, my property doesn't need it, but, and
Right.
they will cover.
right,